the only thing I should might need to touch up in there or something. But, I mean, other than that, yeah, I was totally cool, man. That's what I
Hi, my name's Robbie, and I oppose tattoos.
Technically speaking, a tattoo is ink put about between 1.5 to 3 centimeters under the skin. It stays there because the lymphatic system attacks it and sort of traps it into place so it can't be moved into the capillaries and carried out of the body. So by virtue of the body trying to get rid of it, it actually holds it in place.
Growing up in the generation that I did and having parents that were of the older generation, it just, you didn't do, body art like that. You did not go out and get tattoos. They may look good for now, but what happens when you're 80 and they're all wrinkled and droopy and icky? And, somebody else has to take care of you, and you've got a wrinkled tattoo on you, and it looks nasty. And I've taken care of some older gentlemen and ladies that have had tattoos that just look horrible. Have you ever seen a dancing sea mermaid on an 80-year-old's arm? So that's basically where I come from on that. And my personal belief is that you should not get tattoos. It's just, I don't believe in them. If kids are playing with markers or whatever, that's one thing. But when you put something on there permanent and you can never, how many people do you see that put those things on there and then in 10 or 15 years saying, oh, we got divorced, but now his name's across my butt or his name's on my chest, and it takes a lot of money to get rid of it.
As far as what they mean to people, I think they mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. I think a lot of people, for me, it's just ornamentation. It's just decoration. It's like the way you would hang a painting on your wall. You would put a picture on your skin. You decorate those things that you love the way the body is a temple. There aren't that many temples that aren't decorated that I've seen anyway. And then I think to a lot of people it has meaning. It's a memorial, or it's a way of expressing something about themselves that maybe others don't know, or expressing a particular style that they like and feel affiliated with. For some people it's an affiliation. A lot of people get fraternity letters and bike club symbols and, there's a lot of different reasons. I think you'd have to ask the individual.
I am a Christian, and I believe in what the Bible teaches us. And it tells us that our bodies are to be temples, to not defile them or, make any markings or anything like that. In Leviticus 19, verse 28, it says, "You shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord." So pretty much that tells me that the Lord is telling me that I am not supposed to be putting any markings on my body. He did not put it there. It's not supposed to be there.
I think the people that I've spoken to about their specific problems with tattooing because of their religion, it's different for the religion as much as it's different for the individual and why they got the tattoo. The Muslim people that I've spoken to have said that they try to live a natural life, that when they go to the store, they try to use natural selections and pick things that, when he buys clothes, he said he picks natural fibers. So to him, something like this is very unnatural. The Christian and Jewish people obviously are referring to the quote or the verse in Leviticus that says, it's Leviticus 19:28. It says, "Ye shall not make any cutting in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord." To me, having been raised in a Christian home, that doesn't necessarily say don't tattoo yourself. It says, I am God. I'm the Lord. Don't worship things that are past. Don't do things that don't glorify me. Don't do pagan things, which is what, when we looked it up, we found out that in ancient times, death rituals encouraged people to tattoo the body with pagan symbols, and that this was probably their point. The same as women shouldn't be sent out into the woods every time they menstruate. Those aren't things we still practice. They were put there for a reason, and they're not something that we have to adhere to today, or that mean anyone is going to go to hell.
It says in Moses 6:9, "In the image of God made he man." It says in Romans, "Present your body a living sacrifice, holy." Okay, in Corinthians 1, chapter 3, verse 15. No, excuse me, that's verse 16 in Corinthians. It says, "Know ye not that ye are the temple of God, and that the Spirit of God dwelleth in you?" So in other words, that if we are of God and we are his temple, then that means that by putting tattoos and other art on our body that you can't take off, we are defiling that temple. Romans 12:1 says, "I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy, acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service. And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." So that's the Bible verses that I have. And we have a prophet in our church today that counsels against having body art. And if we are to believe in the prophet and know that he speaks the truth and we pray about it, then we have to be obedient unto what God tells him to tell us. And that's where most of my beliefs come from.
Again, about the Muslim guy that I had a conversation with, who specifically opposed tattooing and tattoos. The way we resolved the conversation was to say that there are just different paths. His path is for him. That's not to say that everyone who goes to the store should buy natural fibers, and everybody that goes to the store shouldn't, eat products that have this or that in them. Because if you put it on that level, it's the same, somebody going and buying McDonald's would be the same as me getting a tattoo. That's not, it's a personal choice. And the way we resolved it was that my personal choice and my personal path were different than his. And that didn't mean that we couldn't have some kind of friendship or some kind of dialogue about our differences. And that it's not, he didn't condemn me for it at the end of the conversation. He sort of saw my point and my reason for the things that I've done, just as much as I see his reasons for the things that he does.
I too respect people's rights of free agency to do that. I try not to judge, but I try to counsel against it. Yes, both of my children, I have a boy and a girl, and they were not allowed tattoos or piercings on their body until they were 18 and out of my house, because I told them that they put them on and I'll take them off. So that's just how I feel about that, and I think it's a lack of respect if they go and do that and try to cover it up with Band-Aids. So, like nobody will ever find out. But yes, I did counsel them to not get the tattoos and stuff. Told them that they would grow tired of them, possibly, and they're just not very becoming.
On the other end, I had a Christian client who came in, had driven a couple of hours to see me because someone in her church had gotten tattooed by me at another time. Her story was that she had woken up in October of 2009. She woke up and thought she was on a cruise ship and was really confused by everything, and it turned out she was in the hospital. She was missing her entire left hand. She was missing 3 fingers from her right hand, and her left foot was also gone. They'd been amputated because of a disease that she'd had that had caused an aneurysm, and that was the reason she'd forgotten everything, because when she had the aneurysm, she went into a coma. When she woke up, she sort of had this desperation. She felt like she couldn't do her job. She felt like she was in everybody's way. And she had this epiphany one day that, there was a reason for this in her life, and it made her more devoted to her religion, and she felt compelled to mark herself. She had started ministering to people in jails and had sort of talked to them and learned to relate to them, even though they were very different from her, very, very different. And that was one of the ways she chose. I don't think that's the reason she did it, but I think that was one of the things that let her feel that it could be okay to get tattooed. And she got a big cross on her arm, a beautiful, ornate. It looked like jewelry. It was just gorgeous. And then she also got at the nub where her hand would have been, she got a little cross, and below it a print, imprint, the word love. I think religious opposition to tattooing will ease up when people start having dialogues about why they disagree. Not just about the fact that they disagree, but breaking down the fundamentals of their disagreement. This is why I don't believe in it. This is why I don't believe in it. This is why I do. And examining the difference. Communication is the only thing that solves any dispute. If you just hate somebody for no reason, what does that accomplish? I don't get it. I don't get it. But I think it will. And I think it's starting to. Anything that's taboo, people don't like to be leaders. People are afraid. So people tend to go with what others are telling them. And until they question the reasons why they disagree,